Welcome back to the Voices of Women Summit, where in honor of International Women's Day 2023, we are raising the voices of hundreds of women so that their messages can be heard. Your host for this session is Tiff Leoffler. Tiff is your positive intelligence coach, and she loves to celebrate the power of mental fitness. She has another amazing guest coming right up. Take it away, Tiff.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Hello, everybody. This is Tiff Loeffler, your positive intelligence coach, and I am here today with the fabulous Gloria Darling. Gloria is going to be talking to us about discovering our golden identity. And Gloria, I am just so excited to have you here today. I just want to get right to it. Could you just give us either a little bit about yourself or why you are so passionate about sharing this with us today?
Thank you very much, Tiff. Yes, I'm really passionate about sharing this today because there's so many times in our lives when we have transitions. And this is primarily about transitions in lives. And then we tend to lose our identity along the way, who we really are. Whether that transition is retirement, which is primarily where I focus, or it's empty nest when the kids are grown and they've left home and mom is by herself, or dad, but mom, and you have a whole different identity. People knew you as something else. You presented as something else. And now you have to find out who you are, your authentic self. So I'm really passionate about that. But first, go ahead.
Oh no, I just go on. Gloria, go on.
We'll talk, like I said, it's primarily about retiring. But I will tell you also from my background, I've raised 3 children. So I've experienced the empty nest syndrome. I am now a retiree in the standard social United States way of picturing a retiree. But I am proud to say I'm from that generation of retiree who some people call baby boomers, but I know as just wonderful people, energetic, active, living our lives, knowing who we are most of the time. And that's the generation I'm from. And I want to help other people to feel good about themselves. I heard once that boomers were loud and proud. I am one of those boomers, loud and proud. Now, just to help you understand, when I say golden, usually when we think of something as being golden, we're thinking of it as being great, something, a higher status. You're successful. As an individual, you're respected. You have special status. Wonderful. But do you feel that way? And with discovering your golden identity, then you become clear and confident about your own strengths, your values, and who you want to be in your next phase of life. Whether that next phase is you're still mom, but no kids at home. You're definitely retired and you're doing whatever it is you choose to do as a retiree. Not just, I'm going to volunteer at the library for a few hours. If that's your purpose and you feel volunteering is what you should do, go for it. But for many people, we have skills that we've honed in many, many years ago. And we could share those skills. The jobs we held as we developed those skills are not us. They're the jobs that we left behind. If you were an attorney, you were a terrific attorney, great. But now you're a retired person. For me, I'm Gloria Darling. I've had decades of years working. I've had decades working in private industry, in the government, state, and receiving federal grants and working with those. I've had entry-level jobs, I've had management-level jobs. I've been someone that the organizations I worked for can go to and say, this is the person with the answer. We've all experienced something like that. No matter what our job was, you could have been the fry station person, but you were the best fry station person there was. You were golden while you were frying those fries. Yes, you were. However, you are still whatever your name is. I am Gloria. First, the job is something I did. That is not who I am. And that's what I would like people to understand and be proud of that. Now, what happens a lot with some individuals is that when they retire and they have all these business cards, some are left over from that wonderful job they had. Now what? When you introduce yourself to somebody else, say you're at a cocktail party and they say, this is Gloria Darling. And then I say, yes, I'm Gloria Darling. And oops, now I'm thinking, what do I say now? I'm not Gloria Darling, program administrator, and here's my card. I am only Gloria Darling. Oh my, I've lost who I was. Some people don't know what to say or do. But what I do, if I move somewhere new and don't know anybody, or after I retire, I ordered some calling cards. I'm going to take us way back.
Oh,
Calling cards. They're not business cards, they're calling cards. And my calling card reads Gloria Darling. It has my phone number and my email address, period. Now, I can introduce myself. Hello, I'm Gloria Darling. Nice to meet you. Here's my card. That clicks. It will give you something. You will have a takeaway of who I am. Now, if the conversation moves forward and they say, oh, well, I guess you work for yourself. Yes, I do. And I'll be happy to help you. Let me tell you what I do. We could do that. Or, well, if they say, well, what did you do when you worked? The conversation can go in any direction. Well, I'm happy to share that with you, but I need you to understand, give them a few minutes of that and then say, but that happened back then. Let's move forward with what's going on now. How about you share what you're doing? Flip it and keep it moving. But meanwhile, you stand tall and erect because you're confident and you know who you are. First, we have to find out who we are, rekindle that fire, that energy, and then we can move forward. Now, go ahead.
No, somebody it just popped up in the chat. Jana said, love this, Gloria, stand strong. Absolutely. And I wished I had known this, because for those of us who work at a job for many years and all of a sudden we're told we don't need you anymore or forced to retire, or I love that you're talking about this because we're not that person. I just want to hear more about how you're helping us learn to have our golden identity, not just the job. Love it.
Right. Well, what I would do first, let me give you a story of someone that triggered this for me or reinforced that I really should get out there and try to help people. I went to a retirement party for someone else a couple of years ago. And another individual, we're going to call her Miss Jones. Miss Jones was at that party. She retired 6 months earlier. And she was looking so sad because before she retired, she regaled us with all these plans. I'm going on this cruise and I'm going to hang out with my granddaughter and I'm going to just have fun doing things with my granddaughter. Well, when she was saying it, I kept thinking, I wonder how long your granddaughter is going to hold your interest, but it's your life. Go ahead. She came to the party and she was looking sad. And I said, well, how's it going? Did you go on your cruise? How was it? She said, oh, I'm so bored. Oh my God, that took the party down a little bit right there anyway. And she was so bored. And I said, oh no. I said, aren't you enjoying your granddaughter? And then she said, well, that was okay for a little while, but I need to do something else. I think I'm going to go speak to my former director and see if I can come back to work. She wasn't going to return to work because she really wanted to return to work, right? Or she really needed money. That wasn't the case. She had her finances in order. She was only returning because she was bored. She didn't know what else to do when she wasn't that person working in that office. How awful. She lost herself. Now, she was a mom, she had grandchildren. So we know she had some children. We know she can do other things in her life. She could find something else. Now, if she had been a client of mine, what we would do is to explore first and foremost who she is through a series of questions. It's a benchmarking, not who she is ultimately to go off and be fulfilled and energized, but just to establish where she is at that point in time. So there's a little sheet, we all know there's an assessment, and we go through it and we figure out where there might be stumbling blocks. Some people, after taking this mini assessment, it's discovered it's loss of identity. Some people, it's simply, how do I introduce myself? You kind of pull out what the issues really are. For somebody else, it just may be social connection. When they were at work, they had people to talk to, even if it was people they really hated. They don't really care for that guy down the hall, 2 offices away, but it's a warm, breathing body that's passing by their door, and the person would say, good morning, how are you? Now, all of a sudden, you're at home. In Ms. Brown's case, Ms. Jones' case, there was no one else there. Her grandchild wasn't enough. And the occasional person in the grocery store, wait a minute. She was primed for sitting on her couch watching television every day. That's not going to cut it. We need more than that. The social connection. That if you don't have social connection, because we're all social beings, that's just in our DNA, all of us. I believe even the psychopaths. They need somebody. We all need someone. So you've left your job, you have no one to call or even ask a question. You're not calling anybody. You're not cursing an email that's come through. You could at least stand up, and on your way to the restroom, you can pass several people and either speak or just see them. You've had a connection. But when you lose that, what do? So we would go through. What would I do?
Yeah, what do you do then? Because it sounds.
Well, you have to seek out somebody like Gloria Darling or someone else who can help you with that situation so that you can get out, and hopefully you will recognize it before you get too deep, where the social isolation becomes loneliness, and then loneliness becomes major depression, and then major depression becomes physical illness. There's a progression along the way. And then instead of seeking out someone that can get you quickly on your path to golden, you end up having to go seek other care, much more severe, people with
Right.
MDs behind their name. That would be tragic. So
Yes.
we don't want that situation. We
No.
would like for you, and you can do simple things. Look at Meetup for instance. You go, but I don't want to go to things by myself. You know, post-COVID has helped us in some situations because post-COVID has made it possible that we can stay at home. We could sit on our couch and we can join Zoom and we can have some type of communication. Even
Yes.
though it's not full-blown, but three-dimensional, you can't touch them. So there's no touch there. You're going to experience that deprivation after a while, but you still have something. You can pick up the phone. We don't do that a lot anymore. Or you can text somebody. Just text them. And maybe they'll text you back, but just the mere act of I picked up my phone, I thought of somebody. I said, hey, I was just thinking about you. Call me when you can. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Wouldn't it be great if they do, though? It may be 2 weeks
Yes.
later, but just to have that person call.
Exactly. I love that. You just gotta, it maybe not be in your timing, but then all of a sudden they're gonna call back. Here's the reason I gotta jump in. Okay, you know you want to connect with Gloria more. Okay, here's how you do that, everybody. You go to support at voicesofwomensummit.com. You just say, hey, I want to connect with Gloria Darling, because you know you do, and you know people who need her. We're all talking about the fact that there's a better way than just the job's over or you're in a different part of your life. And Gloria, I'm so glad you're shining light on this because it's really important for people to not be isolated. And and someone said also exploring options. So I'm really
Yes.
glad people are like, yeah, exploring options and not just saying, well, I guess that's it.
Well, as we go through, thank you so much. And thanks for that person that made that comment. When we explore what your particular fears or concerns, whatever the word is, what's highlighted in your situation, once we do that, then we have to start looking at brainstorming to help you remember what your strengths are. We all have strengths. We don't have the same ones. So then we have to go through and identify what are your strengths. And then we look at what are your values. That's really the foundation of our identities is our values.
Yes.
When you can respect other people, whatever. There are how many lists of values? You can probably Google it and find 10 most useful values or 50 values, or even these days we have AI. So you can go there and say, produce a list of values for me, and you may get 60 to 100 of them. It's okay. But then you look through and you determine what are your values, what's important to you, because that's how we then try to figure out how to match that up and align that with other things that you can do that will then make you happy and fulfilled. And it could very well be related to that wonderful job you had, but this time around you realize it's not your job, it's you.
That is what I am so grateful you are here to just really remind us. It is not about the job or the career or how many jobs or how many things we were doing. It's really about us. Now, I wanted to let people know that we've got another speaker coming up, Jackie Bailey, and she's going to be talking about happily even after. And now, of course, we're just like, there's so many good talks today. I'm just excited for the whole day. And Jackie is going to be talking. And now we've got, well, Gloria Darling is incredible because she really knows what she's talking about. Can't you feel it? That's why you got to email support and say, I need to be connected with her. Gloria, I just love that you've been here. And I want to ask, because we got about 5 minutes left, and I want to give you the final, like words of wisdom for a minute. But is there anything else that you want to share with us just about that golden identity? Because I love that you said golden identity. It's our great identity. It's like who we, at our core, who we are.
Well, two really quick things. One
Yeah.
is once you've finished your brainstorming and you've decided maybe these are my top 3 values, and now this is my purpose. That's a real hot word these days. My purpose, these values are going to lead me to my purpose. And now my purpose is fill in the blank. I won't try to do that for anybody, but that's your purpose. Then you need an action plan.
Yes.
And for strong, progressive, powerful people that had these jobs they lost themselves in, they totally understand what an action plan is. They got there where they were because they were those type of planners, forward people, wanting to know more, innovative, the whole 9 yards. You create an action plan. If you need an accountability person, I can help you with that. But you would also, you can find your friend, your neighbor, your whoever it is, but you create your action plan, make it simple, make it doable, make it smart. Remember that specific, measurable, that whole thing, achievable. You go through those stages of it and you work that plan. You will then find your purpose. Meanwhile, you know who you are. You will be totally fulfilled as your authentic self, not the facade that was created from the office you held. This would be Gloria, darling, whatever. There it is. Authenticity leads to your golden identity.
It's just like mic drop, explosion.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like, I want to talk to you all day about this. People need to, I'm so grateful you're here sharing this. People, make sure that you email and say, I want to be connected, because this is what today the Voices of Women Summit's all about. It's about incredible insights. It's about valuable information. And I just want to say again, I love that you were talking about the action steps, but we still got a couple minutes. So what else would you say is very valuable to someone who might suddenly be in a transitional period? What's the first thing you would have them do? Like, because now they're out of their environment. All of a sudden it's like you're retired or you're fired or you're let go. You're disconnected. You're panicking. What's going on? What would you say is a step in the right direction?
I would say go ahead and feel what you need to feel. Don't suppress that. If you want to stay in bed for 2 days and cry in your ice cream, by the way, I like strawberry, but if that's what you want to do it, but get over it.
Yeah.
Don't linger there. Give it some time. And if you're like me, I'm going to plan that thing. Okay, I'm going to give this 2 days, and today is Wednesday. Friday, I'm getting up. I'm getting on the phone. I'm going Google. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to find somebody to get me out of this funk, whatever it is. And I'm going to get out of it, because there's no amount of money that's not worth me spending on me. Understand? You have to be able to say, I am worth it. And I want to be my best. And my best is not lingering here moaning and groaning about woe is me. Get on up, do something about it, and let's move forward.
Oh my God, those were final words, but do you have just one more sentence you want to throw at us? Because everything, you've got golden coins coming out of your mouth, Gloria, darling. What's the final sentence?
Golden coins. The machine is going ka-ching, ka-ching. I'm just going to remind you one more time, be your authentic self. Do what you need to do to get to that point in life. If you are still working, be proud of working, but at the same time, know when to go home and shut off the work and create something else. We have 24 hours. Don't spend it all on something that's not you.
Oh,
Authenticity, yes,
authenticity. Oh, no, yeah.
leads to your golden identity.
Words to live by. Gloria, darling, you are incredible. Thank you so much for joining us today. I've been thrilled to be with you. Thank you. And everybody stay tuned for our next speaker. And this is Tiff Loeffler. I appreciate you being here for the Voices of Women Summit. Gloria, again, you are amazing. And we will see you later. Cheers, everyone.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing session of the Voices of Women Summit, where our mission is to raise the voices of hundreds of women so their messages can be heard. For recordings of all sessions, plus an amazing VIP gift bundle, upgrade to VIP now. If you have any questions or problems during the summit, email our support team at support@voicesofwomensummit.com. Stay tuned. We have another fantastic speaker coming right up.